for joining our next lesson in our series from our Nutrition Education Program Assistant, Tammy Martin. So Mrs. Martin has a lesson for us today about beverages.
Well, welcome back to Catch Kids Club. Today we're going to talk about beverages. And if you're not sure what a beverage is, it's simply something that you drink. All right. So when we talk about beverages, there's a little bit of a concern with the amount of sugar that are in a lot of sugary drinks. So we talk about there's a lot of sugary beverages, okay? And we need to be aware of the amount of sugar that's in a lot of things that we drink. So I brought a whole variety or several different bottles of different drinks that we can choose from. And so in your mind right now, think of your very favorite drink. And hopefully I'll talk about it. And if not, I'll show you how to investigate the label and you can decide whether it's a sugary beverage or if it's a go beverage. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have two drinks that I want to examine first. We'll just pick these two. I picked a bottle of soda and a container of juice. Do you know what kind of juice this might be?
I think it's orange juice.
It's orange juice. And companies do a really great job because they put an orange on the front. So that makes us think, hey, this is probably good for me because it's got a fruit on the front. It's the color of orange juice. And if you can read, it says it on the label. So the other drink is a soda. So we talked a little bit about how sugar makes our go foods turn into woe foods when they're added in the factories. So of these two drinks, one of these drinks has added sugar. That means the factory put it in. The other drink has natural sugar. In other words, the sugar comes from something in nature, hint, like fruit. So if I were to ask you, which one do you think has natural sugar in it?
I think the orange juice.
You are right, because it's oranges. And if you ever eat oranges and you peel an orange or you eat orange slices and it runs down your arms, you all of a sudden think, ooh, my hands are sticky. And that's how you can tell about the natural sugar in fruits, because watermelon, different fruits that you eat make your hands very, very sticky. So that's natural sugar. So looking at this, both of these have lots of sugar in them. And I always ask, how many of us have drank a bottle of pop? So today, after today's lesson, many of us are going to be like, ugh, that might not be our best, our healthiest choice, but it's good for our hearts and our muscles. So when we look at added sugar, one bottle of Coke, all right, and a bottle of Coke. Before I go there, I'm going to backtrack just a second and say the recommended amount of sugar. And I always say, I don't worry that you memorize the numbers on the how many grams of sugar. It's more that I want you to just be aware in your head. If something's very, very sweet, there's probably a lot of added sugar to it. But the recommended amount of sugar is 24 to 40 grams. And I like to always say it's 6 to 10 teaspoons. So when you get your lunch, the teaspoon is the spoon that's on your lunch tray, and you can measure out, sometimes take out a spoon and measure out 6 teaspoons. And this is what it's going to look like. This is 6 teaspoons of sugar. So I like to show you this just to have a visual of about how much sugar is recommended to have a day. Do you think that looks like a lot?
That's a lot.
That's a lot of sugar. But we'll be surprised because when we look at one bottle of pop, okay, when you look at the nutrition facts label, and we talked about this the last time, and you find the grams of sugar, if you really want to do some math, you divide that by the number 4, and that's how many teaspoons. But in one bottle of pop, there are 16 teaspoons of sugar. So some of us would say, oh, don't worry, I just drink one pop a day. Or we know somebody who drinks a pop almost every day. So this might be your time to be a catch teacher and teach somebody at home. But one bottle of pop has 16 teaspoons of sugar. If we are supposed to only have 6 in one day, if I drink a pop every day, am I going to be over the amount of sugar?
That's way too much.
That's way too much sugar. And sometimes we're like, well, what does sugar do that's so bad for us? And sugary items like candy, we can all think of candy, chocolate, cupcakes, cookies. Over time, if we eat too much sugar, we start gaining weight. And then when we gain weight, it's harder to exercise, and we just don't feel great. So that's the reasoning behind not having as much sugar. Okay, so we have lots of added sugar. And so be careful of those, all the sodas usually have no nutrients. By looking at the nutrition facts label, you'll see there's a lot of sugar, but the rest of the numbers, there's a lot of zeros because there aren't many vitamins and nutrients, if any, in any sodas. So when we talk about go and woe foods, Do you think this would be a go or a whoa drink?
Whoa.
It's a whoa. I always say it's kind of a whoa because it's way over our daily recommended amount. So let's jump. So we know that all soda are whoa drinks. Some people ask about diet pop or some of these pops that say 0 behind them and no sugar. And I always say, do they have natural sugar from fruits? Most of them do not. Are they sweet? Are they sweet? Absolutely. If you spill it, is it sticky? Yes. So there's some sort of sugar that's in there, but what they lack, there are no nutrients in it. It's not going to make us strong. So going back, all pop, whether it's 0, diet, are whoa drinks. Our next drink that I want to look at is this orange juice with the natural sugar. Can you read, some of you at home might have a harder time, but can you read that label right there, what number that says?
It says 100%.
100%. And I always like to say, if your teacher gives you back a test and it has 100% on it, what's usually your reaction?
That's a great grade.
That's as good as it gets, right? Yes, I did it. So if it says 100% juice on it, that means the only thing the factory can put in it are the fruit that's listed behind the 100% juice. So if this says 100% orange juice, what's the only thing that can be in it?
Oranges.
Oranges, absolutely. Are oranges good for you?
Yeah.
Yes. So orange juice, when it has the 100%, is a great choice. There's still a lot of sugar. There are 5 teaspoons of natural sugar in this 1 bottle of orange juice, which is still a lot. However, there are some vitamins and nutrients in it. So maybe an orange juice a little bit each day, like a cup every day would be plenty. Not too much because there's still a lot of sugar in it. All right. So I don't ever put sugar in there because I always think you're getting the sugar from the plant, so we don't worry about putting the added sugar in there. So the 100% orange juice only had what in it?
100% oranges.
Oranges. Very, very good. The other thing, I'll grab another one. How about this one? We're going to look at the front, look at the green label. I don't know if you can see it there, but what does the green label say?
100% apple juice.
So 100% apple juice. If it's 100% apple juice, you see the apple, it's the color of apple juice. So do you think this would be a go or a whoa drink?
A go.
It's a go drink. And if it's 100% apple juice, the only thing in it are
apples.
So those are great choices, all right? So a lot of times you will see the 100% on the front of the label because just like you, if you got 100 on a test, you want to put it on the refrigerator for everybody to see. So if it says 100%, they usually have it on the front of the label and they're really proud of it. All right, here's where the tricky part comes in because there's a lot of drinks out there that look like fruit juice and that put fruit on their label, but they're not 100% juice. So one of the first ones I grabbed are orange drinks, all right? And this is one example. Do you see an orange on the label?
I do.
You do. And does it look like orange juice? It sure does. And this one's even tricky because it says 100% vitamin C. It doesn't say 100% orange juice. It says vitamin C, which can be added in. So a little secret so that you're not tricked, don't be tricked, is when you look at the nutrition facts label on a bottle of juice, if you go all the way to the top, I brought a big one so that you guys can see it, it will say what percent juice is in the container. So this one right here says contains 100% juice. Would that be a go or a whoa?
Go food.
That would be a go. Well, on this one, this is obviously it's got a little bit of lemon up here, but if you look at the very top, it says 11% lemon juice. So if you got an 11 out of 100, not so great. So would it be a go or a whoa?
Whoa.
Whoa. So I challenge you, if you have juice at home, when we finish up, go check out the label. If it says 100%, tell whoever bought the juice for you, great, good for you. You made a great choice for me. And even if it says 100% on the outside label and the band that goes around, you can still check the nutrition facts label and confirm that it does say 100% orange juice. On the one that says orange flavored drink or blend, if you look at the very top, and I'll have Miss Stephanie help me here, it contains
5% juice.
5%. And I always think, if we didn't do so well on something and we had 5%, we'd be like, not so great. And so check that out. If it's at home says 5% juice, just show someone, finish what's at home, but then the next time you go to the store, check out the front of the label, check out the nutrition facts label, and look for that 100% fruit juice. Some stores, it's very, very tricky because even though they all look alike, the band on this one says 100%, the band on this one says 100% apple juice, the band on this one says fruit juice beverage. And when you look at the nutrition facts label, now you know where to look. You go all the way to the top and it says 25%. Go or whoa. Whoa. So be careful with your juices. Maybe just a cup a day because it still has a lot of natural sugar in it. But look for that 100%. And a lot of times they make it really easy to see. The last thing is a couple more. A lot of kids like fruit punch, okay, some kind of fruit drink, fruit punch. And a lot of us say, hey, it's fruit. They put lots of pictures of fruit on the front. And then but you know not to be tricked now because when you go to the nutrition facts label, I'll have Miss Stephanie look.
3% fruit juice.
3% in fruit punch. So even though you feel like you might be making a healthy choice because of the picture or because of the color, you now know to look at the top of that nutrition facts label. And what number do we look for?
100%.
100%. That would be our best choices there. So don't be tricked. All right. The other juice beverage that I want to talk to you that would be a go is one that we can't live without, and it's water. All right. We are supposed to have 6 to 8 cups of water every day. And a lot of us, we don't drink very much water at all, okay? Water is very, very important. And I'll give you a little hint. What do you think our blood is mostly made up of?
Is it water?
It's water. So our hearts that we talked about that's so important to get blood for our whole body to move is made up of water. Guess what our brains need to think?
Water?
Water, absolutely. And the other things, water cools us off. And if you have a water bottle and you fill it up through a faucet or through a refrigerator, it's free. So a lot of drinks will cost you more money, where water, our body needs it. It doesn't have any vitamins and nutrients like our fruit juices do, but our water does, but we get our fruit, if we eat our fruits and vegetables, we get our nutrients from the foods that we eat. So water, my challenge for you this week is to take a water bottle or a large cup and fill it all the way to the top. And if you have a measuring cup at home, measure out 6 cups of water and see if you can drink it throughout the day. And maybe even pick somebody at home to have a challenge with, and you both fill your water bottles up, and before you go to bed at night, see if you can drink that. Because once you start doing it, it gives your body the amount of water it needs to function and feel good.
Great. Thanks so much, Mrs. Martin. For more information, check out our website at eatgathergo.org. Thank you so much for the great lesson, Mrs. Martin. Mrs. Martin now has a recipe to share with us and a fun physical activity.
Okay, before we get started, it's always very, very important that we wash our hands. We've touched different bottles, we've touched different surfaces, so we need to make sure we wash our hands. So I'm going to come over to the sink. And the secret behind hand washing is to make sure our water is warm. And then we always get our hands nice and wet. We get a little bit of soap. And some of us are guilty of just doing the quick palm wash. But make sure that you get up around your wrists, in between your fingers. And the rule of thumb is to try to wash your hands for 20 seconds. And so sometimes we end up going really fast and we're not getting our hands clean. So maybe during that time you sing the alphabet. I've heard some kids sing row, row, row your boat. But make sure you get up around your fingernails and between your fingers. And when you're ready to rinse, you start at the top, you rinse down. A little secret, you can either leave the water running, because if I touch the handle, it's still have germs from when my hands were dirty. So either I can use an elbow to shut the water off and then dry my hands, or I can use once I dry my hands, I can use the towel to wash to turn off the water. So now that our hands are clean, today we are going to make a recipe. We just finished talking about beverages, and so today we're going to make a fruit smoothie for a snack. So it's super simple, and we will attach a link with the recipe on it at the end. But there are 4 ingredients, and the cool thing about a smoothie is if you like something, you can substitute a different fruit, a different juice. But what we just got done talking about, when we select the juice for our fruit smoothie, I chose orange juice. But more than even the flavor of juice, there's a number that we should look for on our juice containers, and it's usually on the front. Do you remember what that is?
100%.
100%. So before we start, the first ingredient is orange juice. So Miss Stephanie, do you see 100%?
It does say 100% pure squeezed orange juice.
That's awesome. And we also know it says it on the front, but if it doesn't say it there, we can also check on the nutrition facts label.
Contains 100% juice.
So we are good to go. This is a great choice full of just oranges. So in our for our recipe, it's one of everything. So we are going to put 1 cup of orange juice in. Sometimes you need to shake your orange juice. I did right before, because sometimes the settlement parts of the oranges settle in the bottom. So 1 cup orange juice. If I put 1 cup of orange juice in, and I said one of everything, how many bananas do you think we're going to put in?
1 banana.
1 banana. But if I really like bananas, do you think it'd be okay if I put 2 in?
I think so.
You absolutely could. And if you don't like bananas, sometimes it's a good way to add fruits in that you don't really love, because with the mixture of all the different fruit juices, it doesn't taste just like bananas. There's a mixture. So I'm going to put in 1 banana. All right. The next fruit that we're going to put in is a kiwi. And if you've never had kiwi before, it's this brown fuzzy fruit. It looks brown and fuzzy on the outside. And when you open it up, it's a really cool green with the black seeds in the middle. And my recipe calls for 2 kiwi. And there again, if you really love kiwi, could I put 3 kiwi in? Absolutely. But for this recipe, I'm just going to put in the 2. So that threw us for a little bit of a loop, because it's 1 cup of orange juice, 1 banana. I'm going to put in 2 kiwi. And our last ingredient is going to be frozen fruit. And so you can find it at any grocery store, and it's in the frozen section, and it usually is labeled with the fruit sign. There's specific fruits, there's blends of fruits, there's a tropical blend, and it doesn't matter. And if you have fresh fruit at home, you don't have to use the frozen, or you can even freeze the fresh fruit and make it your own frozen fruit. So today I have 2 choices between strawberry and frozen mango. Do you have a preference?
I love mango.
Let's make a mango. The mango goes really well with the orange juice. So our last ingredient is going to be 1 cup of mango. So I'm going to dump in 1 cup of mango. Oops.
And Mrs. Martin, if I can't find mango or I can't find kiwi at my grocery store or my food pantry, do you have a suggestion of something else I could use in this recipe?
I've used strawberries. You can leave the kiwi out. Some people make, you could put watermelon, you could put whatever fruit you would like. You could put watermelon in there. Just be careful, like if you put grapes or something, the skin around the outside doesn't taste very well. So it's more of the softer fruits would be a better selection. But I'm going to put 1 cup of mango in, and that's it. So do you think you could do this with 4 ingredients?
I can do it.
All right. The next secret is to go ahead and blend it. And if you don't have a blender at home, you can take a fork and smash up some fruit, mix it in with 100% fruit juice, and freeze it and make popsicles. So you can still have it. It's not necessarily a smoothie, but it's a sweet treat to have instead of a smoothie if you don't have the blender at home. My blender just blends from the top. It doesn't matter what kind of blender you have, and you just mix it. I always make predictions before we start mixing the smoothies, what color you think it's going to be, because if you put strawberries in, it's probably going to turn pink like the strawberries. So on this one, I'll blend it one more time. And on this drink, it's the color of the mangoes, the bright yellow, but can you see the kiwi seeds?
I see the black seeds.
You can see the black kiwi seeds. So that's all you have to do to make a fruit smoothie. You can use any fruits you have, and you can enjoy.
Great. Thanks so much, Mrs. Martin.
Mrs. Martin again with Catch Kids Club, and we're going to play a little game today. We talked about getting our heart rates up for that 60 minutes every day. So we're going to play a game with talking about different fruits that we could add to our smoothies, we could add to the tops of our cereal, or eat with our meals. That would be part of the My Plate, or great for muscles and being stronger and healthier. So the game we're going to play is a riddle game. And I'm going to start reading a riddle which describes a fruit. And I'm going to have you start by walking in place. When you think you know what the riddle is, the answer to the riddle is, or the name of the fruit that I'm talking about, I'm going to have you start running in place. And you'll keep running until I read all the clues and make sure it's the right one, and then I'll say stop, and you'll tell me what fruit you think I just described. So let's start by walking in place. Walk, 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 walk. So my first fruit, I'm yellow on the outside, white on the inside. Monkeys love to eat me. I grow high up in the trees in groups. Stop, what am I? A banana. If you answered banana, that's right. Let's keep walking, let's try another one. So there's your banana. Bananas are great in smoothies, they're great on top of cereal. Next one, oh, this is a good one. I'm green on the outside and red on the inside. I'm rather large. I am mostly made up of water. Sometimes I have black seeds in me. Sometimes I am seedless. Stop. What am I? A watermelon. You're right. Now, watermelon, you could put it in a smoothie, but a lot of times for a snack, it would be great to have a piece of fresh watermelon, especially when they're in season. Ready? Walk, 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 walk. I can be red, green, or yellow. It said one of me a day keeps the doctor away. There was a man named John Chapman that planted trees that grow me. Stop. What am I? I am an apple. You're absolutely right. Apples, great sense of lots of vitamins and nutrients to help us get stronger. Keep going. Let's walk, walk, walk. Oh, this is a tricky one. I am a fruit that is the same color as my name. I am round. If you squeeze me, I make a popular breakfast drink. I start with the letter O. Stop. What am I? Oranges. Absolutely. We can have oranges through orange juice. We can eat oranges. Another great choice, another go fruit. Walk, 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 walk. I am a very, very sour fruit. I have a yellow skin and used to make a popular summer drink. When you bite into me, I pucker up. Keep going, keep going. Stop. What am I? I am a lemon. Now, most of us wouldn't take a lemon and eat a lemon because it's very, very sour. But if you ever have water and you want to add a little flavor to it, take a little piece of lemon and squeeze it inside of it, and it makes lemon-flavored water and a lot less sugar than lemonade. So, walk, 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 walk. I look just like a lemon, but I'm a different color. I rhyme with the word dime. I am not a lemon, but I am his friend. Stop. What am I? I am a lime. And a lime is another fruit that you can put in drinks. A lot of kids like the flavoring of the lime water, the lemon lime water. This is the last one. And this one got me. I had to think about this one a minute. So let's start walking. I am a fruit that is used to make rope. What? Make rope? I am brown on the outside and white on the inside. When you shake me, there's a special kind of milk inside of me. I grow high up in the palm trees. Stop. What am I? I'm a coconut. And a lot of times people forget about this, and a lot of us don't go to the store and buy a coconut, but you can get shredded coconut, and you can put it on your cereal, or you can put it in your breads if you're making, or pancakes, and it's a great way to add some different fruits in. Now, I challenge you today, maybe you think of some fruits, and write a rhyme and see if you can get someone in your house to do the same thing that we just did. Write some clues and see if they can guess it, but get them moving. Keep moving, keep moving. Have a great day.